to Series 1, Episode 1 of Mister Nice Guy's Kitchen. I'm Deb and this is Lucas, and today we're going to make a chocolate candy cane cake with cream cheese frosting. That was ridiculous. Now I know how Agnes feels. Alright, so first up, I'm going to do the wet ingredients. We're going to use 2 cups of coconut cream or coconut milk. So 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And then you mix this really well so that it becomes frothy and foamy and bubbly.
The apple cider vinegar will help raise the cake because it has baking soda in it. So when the vinegar touches the baking soda in the cake, it will actually help it raise up, as well as thicken the milk.
Now I'm going to do some vanilla, and we use the same amount of vanilla, so 2 teaspoons. And pretty much every time you add something, just mix it. Now we need our sugar. So we use raw organic sugar, and we're going to use about 1.5 cups. Just spread it out thinly over the whole thing and then mix it in. Make sure you mix the sugar in well, otherwise it will just stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay, so now we're going to use some oil. We use sunflower oil, organic sunflower oil, and we're going to use 2 and 3 cups of that. It's going to become really creamy. Alright, so that's our wet ingredients, and we're going to move on to our dry ingredients.
My baby is a sweet machine.
2 cups of flour. We use organic unbleached flour. You don't need to use self-raising, just plain flour is good. And then we use 2 and 3 cups of cocoa. You can use raw cocoa if you like, it's just the same, and you just sift that in as well. So you can see how easy this is. Now we're going to use salt, baking soda, baking powder, and cornstarch, and that's pretty much it. So with salt we've got 1/2 teaspoon, baking soda 1.5 teaspoons, baking powder 1 teaspoon, and cornstarch is 2 tablespoons. Okay, so that's all mixed in. You want to mix this, but you don't want to over mix it. So what you want to really do is just make sure you don't see any dry bits anymore. So that is the ingredients for the double-layered chocolate cake. So now I'm just going to grease up 2 pans and pour the batter in, and then some crushed up candy canes.
I'm just going to take probably like 10 or so vegan candy canes. Yeah, most candy canes won't be vegan because they use the red beetle shells to make the red food coloring, and pretty much any red candy. And so if you can tell, that's why this has somewhat of a purple tint to it, because it would have been made with beetroot powder instead of you know, bugs.
So we just grease these up with some regular oil spray. It's the easiest way, that way you don't have to like touch it. Wow, this bowl is really heavy. Thanks. You just want to make it even. You want to put like the same amount of butter in both sides. So I'm finding all my edges.
Good.
Okay, so we tried this the other day. It was really, really good, and it's nice and crunchy inside when you bite into it. Okay.
170 degrees.
Yeah, 170 degrees. 20. Should we do 22 minutes?
Yeah, do 22 minutes, and then if
we'll
it's a little wet, then you can just add 1 minute or 2 minutes to it.
We're going to do 22 minutes. And keep some toothpicks or skewers or whatever is close by, so you can check it after 22 minutes to see if it's ready. And that's it. And that's all for the cake.
This is a beautiful blender and I love it, and I'm going to collect more things because I like collecting vintage kitchenware stuff. It's really cool. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to make our cream cheese frosting. And so what you want to do is just go to the local vegan shop around you and find some vegan cream cheese. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with half a cup of cream cheese. Put it in your blender. Half a cup of vegan margarine. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which is about a cupful.
My baby is a sweet machine. She never runs out of steam. She makes donuts on the run. They taste the...
So what you're doing is you're trying to get air incorporated in your frosting so it'll be nice and fluffy and soft and not some really dense, hard, you know, crusty frosting. Add your 4 cups of icing sugar. I would recommend doing half at a time because it's going to go everywhere and make a big mess. So I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of peppermint essence. It's just a teaspoon of peppermint essence to help, you know, bring out the flavor of the candy cane.
My baby is a sweet machine. She never runs out of steam. She makes donuts on the run.
Okay, nice and messy now.
Yeah.
And it's the longer you mix it, the whippier it'll be, and it'll be much softer and easier to spread, and it'll look prettier too. So then you want to just put it on the cake and add candy canes to it.
My baby
It's okay, it comes up really good. Yeah.
My baby is a sour.
So let's see if these are ready. Yep, they're perfect. Let them cool for a while. Don't put any frosting on these when they're still hot, obviously. None? Oh my god, rabbits and chickens. Oh.
My baby is a sweet machine. She never runs out of steam. She makes donuts on the run. They taste the
Why is there a rabbit?
sourpuss. Her morals are a town loose. I like to tuck them.
You might want to go around the sides first with this, just with a knife, just to make sure that the edges break away so your cake doesn't break.
If you put enough oil in here, it should just slip out really easily.
Sweet machine.
Okay?
Sourpuss. Sweet machine.
Don't worry about that.
Now I'm gonna put the first layer of frosting on. So you want to just put a lot of frosting in the middle, and then work your way out really softly and slowly towards the edges.
She never runs out of steam. She makes donuts on the run. They taste of cinnamon. My baby is a sourpuss. Her morals are a town loose. I like to tuck them with my wrench.
Like I said earlier, the longer you whip the frosting, the airier and the fluffier it'll be, which will make it easier for you to spread on your cake. So make sure you keep your cake in the freezer to cool down, so the cake will actually solidify just enough to keep everything together, so you can do the layering and put the and spread the frosting over nice and easily. With the candy cane bits in the chocolate cake as well, it'll be a little bit crunchy, which gives it a really good texture. This is what your cake should look like when you get done with it, other than, you know, you decorating it the way that you want to. And yeah, so this is it. Chocolate candy cane cake with cream cheese frosting with a little bit of peppermint essence added and candy cane bits put on top.
there's a sour
Is it good?
tomorrow's hard times. I like to top them with my ranch. When she's laid out
Too
on
bad.
the bench. My baby is a
It's really good.
Chocolate on the other.
Oh, thanks.
Stay tuned for more episodes and more recipes. And yeah, so I'll see you next month.
Yeah, and the show comes out the second to last Monday of every month. So stay tuned for that. No, I can feed myself.
No, I'm your husband.
That's a huge bite.
It's not that big.
That is.